All right, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, citizens of YouTube. This is Pastor Dow. You know, it's obvious in this generation that most people just literally do not have any discernment whatsoever at all. I've been talking a lot about social media. I've been talking a lot about people in general. I want you all to know this, is that myself and the elders, we're not oblivious to people. We know them. We see them very clearly. The problem is people don't see themselves. And of course, you know, I got people out here asking me, am I going to address certain things? Remember, I said this, from this day forward, we're going to be dealing with every single issue, because you see, cowards and people who have no intentions of whatsoever at all of actually having your best interest in mind concerning salvation or the truth. People will say and do anything in order to sway the public opinions or people's opinion about the ones that they should be listening to. That's the reason why they hide behind alias names. They hide behind social media. Or when they speak and talk, they're talking, and many of you out there are agreeing with them, and you don't even know. Listen to what Christ says, because this is what the word says. The Most High is going to judge the very thought and the intent of a man's heart. Did y'all hear what I just got finished saying? And most of you don't even pay attention to intent of what people are saying, what perspective they're coming from. That's up to you, because what I've seen is anytime that someone makes an agreement with someone who is falsifying information, who is lying, who is misrepresenting any facts or the truth, I have seen it once, I've seen it 1,000 times. I've seen every single one of them get carried away with the same dissimulation. I see them all go. You know, just like in the book of Acts. You know, I remember when the man of God stood up, because Jerusalem and all of them was making a big uproar at the particular time because of the power that the Apostle Paul, or the apostles, were bringing. And they were bringing about such a change and having such an impact in that generation that the only thing that they could do was just beat on them. And then a wise man stood up and said, listen here, this is my counsel. We've had other people rise up, and they thought themselves they were something. And many times 400 people went with them. And then guess what? They were brought to naught. Let me tell you something. Be careful as to what you do with these men, lest you find yourself fighting against Yah himself. Because if this thing be not of Yah, it'll be overthrown. But let me put it in order again. But if this thing is of Yah, you cannot overthrow it. But if it be not of Yah, guess what? It's going to come to naught, just like all the other people that has risen up. Look at Straitway. We've been slandered. We've been falsified. People get offended. They get upset. They get bitter. Then the first thing they do is they go run to social media, and they look at all the rest of these people whose quality of life is greatly lacking. And they join in on the slander fest. They join in. But you notice one thing that's never been able to happen with all of these people who go and spit in all your ears, is that I openly say, come on out, accusers. Let's get face to face. That's what we do. Let's get face to face with all this. None of them never do it. They never, ever do it. And what does the law say? What does the instruction say? Out of the mouth of two or more witnesses, let every word be established. And most people out here are just false witnesses. And they seem like that they have some similitude of where they actually say that they love Yah and they follow the Bible, but when you watch them in their function in life, they don't. Listen, somebody has got to be used of the devil. Somebody has got to be. That's why when we do judgments, you know what I mean, we follow the protocol of what Yeshua had already laid out. We don't deviate from it. I'm totally unconcerned. I really truly am of what the court of public opinion think, because it don't mean anything to me. I'm only concerned about faithful Israelites. And it's obvious that I have a lot of men that are very envious and very jealous of me. Listen, that's their own personal issue. That's their personal trouble. That's their own self-infliction. And none of my business have nothing to do with it. It's up to you. You can choose to believe whatever you want to believe. That's your choice. Hey, you got one life in this world to live. I hope you live it the best you can, because when it's all said and done, All of us are going to answer for the deeds that are done in our body. Not by the way that somebody presented them and then the theories that you took on as truth and stuff. Everything that has been hidden, it's all going to come to the light. Every bit of it. And right now, nobody's fearing that judgment. I am, because you know what? It's coming. So therefore, I live my life a certain way, because I don't have to wait to see the Most High to know that he means what he says and says what he means. I don't have to lie. I don't have to falsify information. I don't have to garner favor with anyone. I live righteously and soberly because he's righteous and soberly, and I fear him. So I'm not worried about all these people. They're going to come to naught, either in this life, which most of them have, and also in the life to come. That's amazing. So don't be too much concerned about false witnesses. Paul warned us about false brethren. He warned us about false prophets. He warned us about false teachers. He warned us about all this. And we have it. Especially when you look at the world being turned upside down. Look at the effeminate spirit. Look at the men burning in their lust one to another. There's a lot of people on here that oppose me, that they're actually closet homosexuals. And they claiming to be Hebrews. And you don't know these people. You don't know them. These boogers are homos. I'm telling you, they're on the down low. And you don't even know it. I'm telling you, it's a shame what is taking place. I'll tell you what. Choose you this day who you go serve. Well, everybody say serving y'all, but you know what? It's hard to do it without y'all's people. And the only way you're going to know anybody is by their fruits. And that's just the truth. That's true straightway.